Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good day to Miss Nurala and everyone. The previous video is a documentary about bunting which aligned with today's seminar with title Bunting the Happiest City in Malaysia. With this title, I'm happy with the seminar today. Firstly, let me introduce our members, including myself, Farah Shabiki Nordin, with my dear friends, Nuraina Ashira, Ainun Mardia, Muhammad Fahmi Rahimi, and Nantia. I will brief shortly a general about Banting City. Okay, according to the previous history, the name Banting was taken in conjunction with the area that was formerly a paddy field area, and the name Banting was taken in conjunction with the name of the buffalo. Basically, Banting is near with KLIA, KLIA 2, Putrajaya, Nilai, and Klang, which have potential to increase the number of tourist arrival due to the Banting area, which is currently developing. It made us get the idea to bring Banting City to be the happiest city in Malaysia. Okay, firstly, Banting have a next slide. Okay tak? Jangan stop sharing. Okay tak?
Tak gerak.
Tak gerak.
Nampak tak?
Tak.
Sekejap. Sekejap, sorry.
Frasa.
Nampak tak?
Nampak.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we continue. Firstly, Banting have a potential to develop in terms of tourism, economy, environment, and social. Okay. Banting has many industrial areas that contribute to the economy. There are many tourist spots that potentially attract many visitors. For example, Tadum Hills Resort, Bukit Jugra, Moret Beach, Paya Indah Wetland, parks and historical area in Banting. So we go to next members of this seminar. Nantia.
Good morning, Ms. Alia and others. Okay, I want to present issue that we observed during our field work. The first one is traffic congestion at peak hours. Okay, like peak hours like from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. The traffic was congested because there have 7 traffic lights from bridge to hospital, so they were always have traffic jams. And for the second one is the condition of the roads. While we are observing, we find that at several areas the condition of road is worse. Like there are several potholes in the roads. And the last issue is less effective public transport. Okay, for the public transport, Banting has bus and taxi. For the bus, the departure hour from one bus to another bus, it will take almost like 2 hours. So the people have to wait to travel by bus. Yeah, that's all for the issue observed during field work. Okay, I'll proceed to my friend to continue the next slide.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Fahmi Raimi, and for now, I would like to explain what kind of environmental issue or activities of the city that could be improved or need to be maintained in order to nominate as the happiest city in future. First thing first, a sustainable development. It includes as a key factors to support the well-being for both the visitors and the community in Banting. Focusing on the ecotourism activities are actually fundamental in developing sustainability, especially in the urban areas. There are many green spaces or ecotourism destinations in Banting. And basically all these places were visited for the purpose of leisure or interesting nature experience. For example, Paya Indah Wetland is one of the efforts from Malaysian government in developing an environmental friendly tourism sector. Sorry. For example, Paya Indah Wetland is one of the effort from Malaysian government in developing an environmental friendly tourism sector. And this effort should be maintained. Considering the benefits that can be obtained, the development of this tourism sector needs to be intensified and various other efforts can be made, such as the government should put more efforts to promote the destination or provide more facilities to attract tourists, as well as to assist the local community to enjoy the green spaces in Banting. Okay, next, as mentioned earlier, the current issue that occurred is the condition on the main road in Banting. This issue definitely gives effect towards the environmental activities, especially to the local community who use the road every day. One of the alternatives that I would suggest is the local authorities, which is Majlis Daerah Kuala Langat, should perform a scheduled maintenance as it is very important, especially roads that have reached the time limit for pavement or reconstruction. This effort doesn't only affect the quality of the environment, but also able to save many lives. So that's all for me.
Okay, hi, good morning. My name is Aina Madia. Now I would like to share about economy. Banting has a high potential to become the happiest city in Malaysia because after our observations, some part of area has a high local high educational institution like a college matriculation, Selangor, IKBN, MCS Banting College, and some part of have a high school. Okay, next, due to suitable place and environments, we suggest that Banting should develop a university near Kancho Darat and Morit. This is because that place is village and the area have many SME that small medium enterprise. Indirectly, we can help business SME to go forward. Okay, so that resident can generate their income. So when it develop, the government will impose taxes and directly the country economy will also gradually increase. Okay, actually, Banting has natural attraction for tourists such as Jugra Hill, Morit Beach, Paya Indah Wetland, and so on. Banting need more attraction to attract tourists and local people to choose a happiest city in Malaysia. For example, Banting should build a more premium outlet. This is because Banting area is very strategic due to near KLIA, KLA2, and also Klang. Banting has a cinema. However, that cinema's business growth is very slow due to limitation movie and focus more Tamil films since the owner is Indians. So other races will go to another cinema in other city like Kuala Lumpur, Puchong, and so on. Besides, we suggest to build private hospitals and school due to Banting has limitation private hospitals. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, how social activities of the city could be improved? Firstly, if more job creation. The problem is of joblessness is high and it's even higher among educated people in Banting areas. The increasing regulations of people from rural or developing areas to urban areas is the leading cause of urban unemployment. We develop a shopping mall. It can give job opportunity to the local community in Banting. Tourism promotion and the sustainable exploitations of natural resources can create more jobs for urban population around Banting. Next is improve recreational facilities. Um, Parks and other community facilities are important to the life and well-being of communities. Park and recreational facilities do a lot for the communities. They are in which strengthen the connection of nature, improve the health of the community, and protect natural resources. For example, good recreation facilities at Dataran Banting. It can contribute to the general quality of life in the community. A community with good parks and other facilities is a pleasant and sociable place to live with a lively outdoor and cultural life. Residents spend more time in the community and therefore are more familiar with one another and contribute to the sense of community. This service brings residents together and actually help create the sense of community that defines a place. For that reason, among others, most municipalities fund at least some of these community facilities, but adequate funding for all of them is seldom available. As a result, it sometimes falls to citizens to take the lead in protecting, restoring, or creating new facilities.
Okay, for the chronology of Banting, we have find three comparison for now. The first one is the old post office of Banting. We can see the like a small pundo like office, and the new one have located in between buildings. So it's like if you compare the places, the new one has more effective place. And the next one is next slide. For the next one, we have Langat River and the old and new picture of the Langat River, and also a village is called Jenjarom, where the majority of Chinese are staying there. So we can see the difference between Kampung Jenjarom from 52 to 2020, and also for the Langa River, 1874 to 2020. And that's all from her, Miss. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Banting. Okay. So my questions to you. Okay. So since you recommend that to create more jobs, and also to to attract more people to go to Banting, so you said that create premium outlets in nearby area. So my question is, the first one, okay, what is the risk to have premium outlets in Banting? Okay, what is the risk to build a premium outlet in Banting? Okay, so you can discuss on whatever points that you think important, and also how do you want to overcome the problem? Okay, because this is a risk when we are developing a bigger shopping center. Okay, so what is there's two part of the question. The first one is what is the risk to when you build a premium outlet in Banting, and the second part is how to overcome the problem. Okay, so I'll come back to you later. Okay, with your answer. All right. So thank you, Banting. So we'll move on to Tumpat. Okay, Tumpat.
Okay,
Whenever you're ready.
okay,
Thank
all
you,
right.
Miss.
All right. Welcome.
Okay, sip. Semua dah ready ke?
Okay.
Okay, can we start? Yes?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and very good morning to Miss Nur Alia, which I respect very much, and to all my friends that I really love. So today, our group will present about the FCCT in Malaysia 2030, and we choose Tumpat as the best destination. A little bit of background of Tumpat, that is, Tumpat colony was built on January 1st, 1949 in Padang Mahkota area. According to the story of all pupils, Tumpat has been built since 119 years ago. Essentials had to be brought from Kota Baru without a proper communication, a road, and any necessity to taken out and to use a canal. And then Tumpat is situated at the end of the East Coast line, railway line operated by Kereta Api Tanah Melayu. Tumpat also 15 kilometers from the state capital Kota Baru. Tumpat constituency in Kelantan, bordering Thailand, across the Golok River to the west. Okay, our group also provide a video that show various tourist attraction. So you guys, let's watch together.
Persembahkan melepaskan diri dari lelah bekerja. Ini yang kami nantikan. Meneroka keindahan dan keunikan, memenuhi keterujaan dan keasyikan. Mencari kepuasan dalam kesederhanaan, penjelajahan tanpa batasan, dan pengembaraan kami bermula.
I could run, I could cry, I could plead, I could say it's never gonna get any better and leave. I could throw my hands up, I could fall to my knees, I could tell myself I'm strong enough to give all the love that I need, but I still need you to ease my load. Hold me when the lightning strikes. Lead me home when I don't know which way is right. Love me when it's hard. I promise that I'm not leaving from your side. And when I fall apart, promise in the dark, you'll be my nightlight. Ooh, you'll be my nightlight. Ooh, you'll be my nightlight. You'll be my I could count every time that I fall in. Even when I'm in so deep, it gets hard to see you're still all in. I've been lost by myself in the darkness, but I can find my way even on the days when it's hardest. But I still need you to ease my load. Hold me when the lightning strikes. Love me when it's hard. I promise that I'm not. I could say it's never gonna get any better and leave. I could throw my hands up on my knees. I could tell myself I'm strong enough to give all the love that I need, but I still need you to ease my load. Hold me when the lightning strikes. Lead me home when I don't know which way is right. Love me when it's hard. I promise that I'm not leaving from your side. And when I fall apart, promise in the dark, you'll be my nightlight. Count every time that I fall in. Even when I'm in so deep, it gets hard to see.
Okay, all right. Based on video, the majority of Malaysians recognize Tumpak as the place where the largest Buddhist status in Malaysia, and even the largest in Southeast Asia. Apart from that, Tumpak is also often associated with Pangkalan Kubur, which is a shopping location for cheap goods. And then for timeline of Taman Pantendo, before this, the Endo Beach recreation park was very lacking with facilities. Only there was a slide at the time, and the beach was not guarded. And then now there are improvement in terms of facility and people getting to know this place. And then the latter is many development to develop for tourist attraction. So I will pass to Daya to the next slide.
I will proceed with motivation. Why Tumpat among all the state in Kelantan? So first is because of the city planning. Tumpat is to benefit from the major development project, which is the Palembang Bridge. It is a bridge that connects Tumpat to Kota Baru. Next is Ribayu Residence. It provides better living for the locals. Previously, Tumpat is an old state with poor facilities. Nowadays, uptown Tumpat become more developed and provide lots of facilities for the locals. Moving to public facilities in Tumpat, they have transportation facilities such as railway station and bus station. Also, they provide boat service at Floating Market Pulau Suri. Example of health facilities available in Tumpat are Hospital Besar Tumpat and Klinik Satu Malaysia all over Tumpat. In terms of recreation facilities, Tumpat is famous for the beach such as Pantai Sri Tujuh, Geting, and Taman Pantai Indoor. People can also do archery and golf at Recreation Centre NDT and mini water theme park at the Geting Chalet. Regarding the education, next slide. Regarding the education at Tumpat, they have improved a lot. They have a boarding school, Emerson Tumpat. Also, they provide a great Islamic education such as Mahat Tafiz Sains Bustanul Arifin and Falahiyah. Lastly, next slide. Our motivation for choosing Tumpat also includes the geographical factor because it is near Kota Baru and have beautiful beach and park. Bekalan Kubur and the Keropok and Budu factory also become part of the attractions and contribute for economic growth. Tumpat symbolize a good image of cultural attraction. For instance, the three famous Buddha statue and Pasar Bunuhan, which is also known as Rumah Besar. Furthermore, Museum Wow is also included. Lastly, other tourism attractions are the street arts, Istana Bukit Tanah, and Makam Tok Janggut. All right, next, my friends will explain further about the issues.
Alright, for the issues, there are several issues that happen in Tumpat, which come from three different aspects, which is environmental issues, economical issues, and social issues. So for the first environmental issues is due to flood. In Tumpat, it can be said that nearly every year, this natural disaster will happen. So one of the biggest reason why this disaster happened is because the place is near two of the biggest river in Kelantan, which is Kelantan and Golok River. So each time have a heavy rain, the possibilities of the river to overflow is higher. Next is coastal pollution. So one of the attraction in Tumpat is their beach. There's beach available in Tumpat such as Pantai Sri Tujuh, Pantai Geting, Pantai Sri and also Pantai Indo, which is recently being developed. Due to many tourists come every year, so due to tourists come every year and management, it causes most of the beach polluted with trash. So for next is economical issues. So the first economical issues is the community happened to lose their source of income due to flood. Most of the community main source of income came from sea, such as being a fisherman or supply fish. So if they cannot go to the sea, their only source of income will be gone. So as mentioned above, monsoon season, which happens nearly every year, cause them lose their job, source of income, and sometimes some of their household items were damaged due to flood. Next economical issues is lack of job vacancy. Based on the observation, most of Kelantan citizens tend to migrate to other states in order to find jobs since they realize that there are not many job opportunities which available there. Many Kelantanese which stay at Kelantan create their own job by being an entrepreneur or businessman in order to survive. So next is for the social issues. There are several social issues that happen in Tumpat which may lead to unhappiness and make the place is not good to stay. So as we all know, Kelantan is one of the states which take religion as one of the most important factors. So when other culture was brought into the community, this will impact the community. For instance, in Islam, women need to cover some part of their body. Same goes to men. So when the Western culture were slowly absorbed in the community, it will cause the contradiction of what the local community had learned before in their religion. So the next social issues is the increase of the number of the crime rate. According to one of the websites in the internet, they did surveys for safety and crime rate in Tumpat. So the number of cases is not considered as high, but it is keep growing from time to time, which is a bad news for the community. So the main reason why the crime rate is increased due to drugs. So a lot of incidents happen, such as robbery, um, crimes such as murdering, and many more. So this will indirectly lead to decrease the credit for being the best and happy place to live. So that's it for the issues. I'll pass for next presenter to continue the presentation.
Okay, next is an improvement. First is environment problem improvement is how to reduce the flood problem in Tumpak Kelantan. First is river deepening project. River deepening project most flood occur due to shallow river. This is due to the process of deposition and disposal of waste materials. The step to deal with this problem is to carry out the process of deepening the river by digging all the mud and found in the river. When this process is done, the river not only becomes deep but is able to flow a large amount of rainwater. And how to reduce the problem of this pollution in Tumpa is place warning sign to visitor not throw the rubbish everywhere. It is warning that a compound will be imposed on visitor who throw rubbish everywhere. That way, the visitor will probably be afraid will be compound if they throw rubbish everywhere. And provision of more bins in coastal areas. The provision of more bins in the coastal area is the way to prevent the beach from being polluted. And next is improvement of economical problems, how to overcome the loss of source of income during the floods is modern agriculture methods. Residents who lost their source of income when the flood season arrives can use modern farming methods such as hydroponics may be able to reduce flood loss for farmers. In addition to helping to increase farmers' income, it can also contribute to reduce the negative impact of agriculture on environment, which is associated with the flood phenomena. And how to reduce the problem of unemployment in society, further expand existing potential business. In Tumpak Kelantan is one of the district in Kelantan that has the privilege of interesting places such as tourism. Therefore, it is necessary to further expand the business to open more employment opportunities to the locals. And last is improvement of social problems. First is foreign cultural influence. As in as individual, we need to adapt to religious teachings and deepen more in the appreciation of religious teachings, and think and evaluate the good and bad of an action before acting. And the role of the media is restrictions on unethical Western movies and drama series, and media practitioners broadcast programs that are beneficial and suitable to our society. And last is
Okay,
to reduce the
Nisi. Okay, thank you, Nisi. Cukup 50 minutes. All right. Okay. So thank you very much. Tumpai. All right. My questions to Tumpai. Since you mentioned about Kelantan strict regulation of Islamic value, do you think Kelantan regulation of this strict Islamic value will hinder people to move and live in Tumpai, in Kelantan in general? Okay. So how would you overcome this prejudice of Islamic value is a bad thing. Okay, so I repeat my question. Okay, so do you think Kelantan regulation about strict Islamic value will hinder, okay, people to move and live in Tumpat, okay, specifically, and Kelantan in general, okay? So how this prejudice can be overcome? Right. All right. Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Nak answer sekarang ke?
Tak apa, kejap lagi. Fikir dulu.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. Okay. So,
Okay, miss, thank you.
okay, thank you. All right. So, Bukit Mentajam, are you ready? Okay, thank you, Tumpat.
Thank
Okay,
you,
miss.
miss.
All right. Bukit Mentajam, ada?
Ada. Kejap.
All right.
Okay, start lah. Boleh start. Dengar suara saya tak?
Plan.
Okay. Good morning, doctor and my fellow friends. I'm Gosiling. We are choose Bukit Bertajam, Penang as the happiest city in 2030. Our presentations are in 5 parts. I'm going to talk about the introduction and history part of Bukit Bertajam, Penang. Next. Next. Bukit Bertajam, as the name implies, refers to the mountain that rises to a height of 1,800 feet on the mainland region of Penang State, formerly known as Province Wellesley and now Sprung Pride. An itinerary written in 1861 referred the mountain as Bukit Bertajam, while the settlement was named as Martajam village, implying the modest origin of the town. The boundary of Bukit Bertajam is flanked by Kubang Semang of the north, Bandar Perda and Perai on the west, Pulwang Piti on the east, Alma and Pematang Tinggi on the south. So let us enjoy the video of Bukit Bertajam. Okay. So this is the map. This is the Google Map view of Bukit Mertajam. Then next, Bukit Mertajam. Next. Bukit Mertajam only came into existence in the 19th century after the acquisitions of the area by the British East India Company in 1800 as the British encouraged the cultivations of spice throughout the newly acquired territory of Province Wellesley. Chinese settlers, most of Hakka origins, moved into Bukit Mertajam. The Chinese migrants opened up spice plantations at the foot of Mertajam Hill. Sugar plantations was established to the south of the area in the mid of 19th century. These economic activities led to the construction of roads throughout Province Wellesley and became a transit point for the movement of agriculture produce towards the port of Penang. The Bukit Mertajam Town Council was established in 1955. At the time, it was one of the 5 local governments within Province Wellesley. Beginning in the 1970s, residential estates were also developed in the areas surrounding Bukit Mertajam, filled by the industrializations of certain areas near the area, such as Bukit Minyak and Bukit Tengah. The local governments were eventually amalgamated and transformed into the present day Sprung Prime Municipal Council by 1976. In 2006, the headquarters of the Municipal Council was relocated from Butterworth to the Bandar Perdana Township near Bukit Mertajam, making the latter the seat of the local government of Sprung Prime as well. Next, I'll pass to Pan to present the part of moderation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now we're moving to the statistics, which I will be explaining on the safety, quality of life, crime rate, and also cost of living. For safety, there are 2 situations, which are safety walking alone during daylight, which is 70.00, and it shows high. For safety walking alone during night, it shows 40.00, which is moderate. For safety walking alone during night, it is not dangerous to walk during night, but it is better to be careful as the rate is moderate. The crime rate in Bukit Mertajam is 37.00, which is low. So it is impossible to have a 0 crime rate place, but I would say staying in Bukit Mertajam is good as the crime rate is moderate. The crime rate is low. Okay. Next is the quality of life, which shows that safety index is 64.93, which is high. The healthcare index is 77.78, which is high. The climate index is 59.49, which is moderate. And the pollution index is 43.97, which is moderate. For the cost of living is moderate. So cost of living is the level of price relating to a range of everyday items. Okay. Next, I'll move to the motivation of why we will say that Bukit Mertajam is the happiest city in 2030. Bukit Mertajam has high potential as it is a developing area since 2016. So many buildings, factories, and houses were built. So the example buildings are Pulau Mutiara Tower Manufacturing Sdn Berhad and also the Summit Plaza. Okay, many people are familiar with this place, and some of them choose to live in Bukit Mertajam. Staying in Pulau Pinang would never get surprised of traffic jam, but many people choose to stay in Bukit Mertajam as it is not a too crowded town compared to other cities in Pulau Pinang. That's all from my part, and I'll pass to my friend.
Yes, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Raika Harandaya Putri Duale. This is Economy of Bukit Mentajam, which is encourage local people to do small business, increase infrastructure so that it creates construction jobs and increase productivity by enabling by business to operate more efficient, promote economy through innovation, make Bukit Mentajam as industry area with more factories and infrastructure. Next slide. While for environmental of Bukit Mentajam, it was prevent of air pollution, which is reduce the construction of chemical plants, which is sharing car, prevent of sound pollution, which is contractor need to do the work early and stop before dusk, prevention of curing activity, needs should be installed around the construction area to prevent air dust from spreading the air, prevention of traffic jam, traffic congestion, optimistic traffic light, improve the cycling infrastructure, and prevention of load build house with high pillars so as to avoid flooding. So I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, for social culture of Bukit Mentajam, we can see law enforcement in order to reduce criminal rates in Bukit Mentajam, limits the movement of people until 12 p.m. to ensure safety and provide more attraction place and improve the facility at current attraction place and creates bonding among local peoples and university students because they have USM and ULTM and provide more jobs thus can help reduce unemployment. That's all for me. I will pass to next presenter.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. So I am going to continue about the issue during the trip. So the first one is air pollution because of the factory and vehicles. Next is the sound pollution, also from the buildings, vehicles, and factory. The third issue that we got is quarry activity and this activity actually disturb local people's daily life and almost 100 lorry use the main road every day, so it is dangerous for local people. Next is flood problem. People at Bukit Mertajam are worried, especially during rainy season, because the flood happened within 1 hour and it bring muds into their houses. The last issue that we got is traffic jams because we know that Bukit Mertajam is currently a developing town, thus the road is very busy every day. Next slide.
Excuse me, Miss. Boleh tak saya nak keluar? Saya ada test JPJ.
Okay. Okay, next, this is the achievement of Bukit Mertajam. As for transportation, it has Bukit Mertajam Railway Station, North-South Expressway and Federal Route 1 and also Rapid Penang. As for education, there are 14 primary schools and 7 high schools. For healthcare, it has Bukit Mertajam Hospital and KPJ Penang Specialist Hospital. Furthermore, the tourist attraction are such as Bukit Mertajam Forest Park, St. Anne's Church and Mengkuang Dam. But Bukit Mertajam also has several shopping centers such as Aeon, Tesco and etc. And finally, the last one is the demographic of Bukit Mertajam's residents. Next slide.
So these are the tourist attraction places at Bukit Mertajam. Okay, next. Okay, so that's all from our group. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Bukit Mertajam. Because the video is a bit lagging, bukan a bit lah, memang lagging kan, video. So I'm not sure what is the key points. Did you mention in the video about the quarry industrial activities?
No, Miss, tak ada.
Ada?
Dalam video tu tak ada.
Oh, tak ada. Because you discuss a lot about quarry activities. I know Bukit Mertajam well. I lived there for like 2-3 years, and I work in UiTM Pematang Pauh before. Okay, but you know, the audience, meaning the rest of us who, maksudnya the rest of the group who haven't lived in Bukit Mertajam probably won't get idea what do you mean by quarry, what do you mean by, how busy the city is, because uh, 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 the element is not presented in the PowerPoint kan. Okay. So a bit disconnected sikit lah idea tu problem dia lah. Because you have in your suggestion. Bila you ada dekat dalam suggestion, meaning you kena ada dekat dalam presentation, main presentation. And meaning you need to have it in there. Okay. But it's fine. So saya punya soalan, I think based on your recommendation, okay. How can you make Bukit Mertajam, because if we just see from the presentation, it means it's a very busy place. Okay. A lot of traffic, a lot of lorry activities. There's a lot of industrial activities going on in Bukit Mertajam. So how do you or what do you think is the most important thing that you can propose to make Bukit Mertajam a more we said livable city? It's more easier to live in Bukit Mertajam. All right.
Alright.
Okay, so I repeat my question. How can you make Bukit Mertajam a more livable city? All right. Okay.
Okay, Miss.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Bukit Mertajam. All right. Mua, if when you're ready.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tam Hui-ru. My group member is Rihanna Sitino Ayuni Heng Xiangqing. Now we will present the Happy Years City Mall in Malaysia 2030. Next. This is the pictures of Mall Stay Fest. Next. This is more from the satellite. Next. This is the Google Map map. Next is chronology of the more district development before compared to now. Number one is the more district. Number two is Stadion Emas Towers. Number three is bus station more. Number four is hotel building more. Number five is more ferry post. Number seven and number six is Stadion Emas. Number seven is Sultan Ismail Bridge. Number 8 is Mua Second Bridge. Next. Next is the video about the international Mua. Let's us see the video.
Does the next presenter nak continue dulu ke? Siapa second presenter, the third presenter?
Me. The motivation to choose this town or city more. Number one is Sultan Johor Ismail, Ibrahim Ismail. Candlelight. Number one is Bandar Maharani and Bandar Dirajas on February 5, 2012. And Sultan also visited more frequently and also event help many royals celebrate such a Hari Raya in Muar. Number two is education campus Pagos, for example, UTM, UTHM, Correct Community Pago, and other. Number three is what is named the cleanest tourist city in Asia. Here is the new of what is clean city in Asia. Number four is the shopping mall, for example, Ecomsafe, TF, Astaka, and Weather. Number five is cultural attentions. For example, Tanjung Emas, Bangunan Sultan Abu Bakar, Jambatan Muar Johor, and Muar Coast Tower and other can see in here. Number six is travel attentions. For example, Donghu, Jurassic Park, Hot Spring, Muar Tourist Information Station, and Fanstay Mini Zoom and other can see in here. Number seven is food. For example, famous foods in Muar is Assam fish, otak, Rabu, Rotong and Mil, Bandung and others. Next, I will pass to my friends.
Okay.
Thank you, Hiru. Good morning, everyone. My name is Heng Sang Ching. I will continue to present about the issue that observed during fieldwork. First issue that observed during fieldwork is lack of parking lot in Mua Town. The increase of population parallel with the increasing of road user lead to parking concern, especially in Mua Johor. Insufficient car park and congested traffic occur in Mua Town. Mua Municipal Council should help fix the situation before it becomes worse in future. Next issue that observed during fieldwork is traffic jam in Mua Town. More cars entering Mua, especially weekend and public holidays. Motorists also claim the new commercial areas along Jalan Sisi also contributed to the congestion with the traffic spilling over to Jalan Abdullah and Jalan Maharani. The council should find a solution to solve the problem. Another issue is due to this pandemic COVID-19, business have been badly impacted. They need to follow strictly government regulation and social distancing procedure. Last issue is lack of proper planning and draining system. Cause flash flood occur in Mua district. Heavy early morning rainfall has caused flash flood to hit 22 areas in the district and also affected Hospital Pakar Sultanah Fatimah. Over 60 mm of rain fell since 4 a.m. and the situation was worsened by the high tide phenomenon in the district. So Mua Municipal Council should take action on maintain draining system. This is all of my part. I will pass to Liana to continue the presentation. Thank you.
For economy in Mua, first point is industrial area. Mua is a furniture hub of Malaysia, housing 700 factories that represent 45 to 50% of country furniture export. In addition to the small and medium-sized factories, many companies have expanded into larger entities. Currently, there are 8 furniture companies from Mua listed on Bursa Malaysia. This shows that economy in Mua will increase in future. Second point is educational hub. As you can see, Mua is a rural area, but there are many educational institutions being developed here. I'm sure there will be more investors interested to invest in Mua. I believe that when there is educational institution built in some area, the area will automatically develop with other facilities. The next point is river as a resources of economy. River development increase income of the community in Mua. Potential industries such as tourism, recreational activity, boat making industry, boat rent industry and agriculture industry are among the industry that can be developed along the river. River has been declared as the tourism area as a huge potential for local economic growth. For the next is environmental of Mua. The nature attraction in Mua, there is a few that famous. The most famous is Gunung Ledang. Gunung Ledang, as we know, there is a famous story about Puteri Gunung Ledang. In the most famous version in Sejarah Melayu, that princess reject the proposal of the Sultan of Melaka by setting 7 impossible demands for her in hand marriage. Today, Gunung Ledang is one of the most popular mountain climbing destinations in the country. Between 15 to 20,000 visitors attempt to scale of 1,276 meter high mountain each year. Next is Bukit Mo. Although Bukit Mo is not high in regard of its height, there is many differential and viewpoint available. The Bukit Mo will promise that you really wonderful view, especially when the sunrise and the sunset.
Thank you. I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, first is Tanjung Emas Recreational Park. In 2020, many reformation and addition have been made. So for the improvement to reach 2030, MPM may allow certain parties to provide activity service in this area to attract visitors, such as playing rollerblade, playing kite, ride rickshaw, etc. MPM need to provide the hawker area close to the riverside. This is because the existing one is far from the chilling area, and the visitor need to go and buy snack by transportation and to back to the chilling area. Second is boat tour. In the past, boat are used as miners that serve as a public transport to connect from remote areas, which is Lenga, to major areas via waterways. So the present is it becomes an attraction. Visitor can see the scenery around the river by using the service of cruise. Then for the improvement, MPM need to increase the number of boats and repair the existing for long-term use so that this attraction is still relevant in 2030. Third is Sunset View Tanjung Ketapan. It actually a mangrove forest recreation area once open attempt. To protect mangrove forest and the habitats such as monkey, it has been closed. But now the part is slightly open only for the public to jog, and the entrance is used as an area to watch sunset and sunrise. For the improvement, landscape for the riverside can change as RNF Tanjung Puteri and Country Garden Dangabe, which located at Forest Cities JB, and provide buggy for visitors to go to the Muar Marina Bay. Lastly is Muar Street Art and Muar Cultural Walk. Need to be improved and repaired. The murals as needed to always look attractive to maintain the sustainability. This is because public arts initiatives have been identified as an equity advancement strategy for economic development. So that's all from us for more is the happiest cities in 2030. We hope that we all present it well. Thank you so much for hearing our seminar.
Mua. So I see that you get a question in the chat box. So thank you for answering that. Okay. Alright. So apa tu? Okay. So we can see that Mua for me is considered more developed than any other parts of Johor other than Johor Bahru. Okay. But how about the residents? Do the residents well-being is being taken care of? So that's my question to your group. Okay. So even though Mua is very developed, because is it Bandar Diraja, right? Royal City kan, Mua.
Yeah, Miss
Yes.
Mata Diraja.
Okay, so Bandar Diraja meaning is the second apa tu concentrate kita panggil dense area selepas Johor Bahru lah most of the time. Okay, so how about the welfare of the residents? So do you think it can be improved? Okay, so that's my question to your group. So later we'll come back to that question. Okay, how the residents' well-being can be improved. Okay, so thank you very much, Mua.
Thank you, Miss.
So we go to the last one. Pulau Tioman. So kalau for next one, if you have YouTube video, I think better for you to play from the desktop rather than YouTube. Probably mungkin issue internet connection kan, right? So nanti apa guna desktop version lah. Okay. Okay. Pulau Tioman.
Ready?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning to Miss Alia and to everyone. Okay, we are from the Tioman Island group. Okay, first of all, let me introduce ourselves. Okay, my name is Muhammad Abi Akmal bin Azizi and my group member name is Nur Syahira Afika binti Razali, Nurul Shakina binti Muhammad Fadil, Intan Safia binti Azman, and Nurul Nabila Sakina binti Muhammad Arifin. Okay, next, for introduction. Introduction of Tioman Island. Tioman Island is located on the east coast of Venezuela, Malaysia, in the South China Sea. Or in more detail, Tioman Island is located at Romping Pahang. Okay, this is a nature reserve surrounded by beaches. The area is famous for its diving site, which have a coral. Which have a coral, sea fence, and sea sponges. The island is covered with a tropical rainforest, home to butterfly, lizard, and monkeys. On the east coast, the Champion Turtle Project is a hatchery that protects and studies sea turtles. The area is also an international resort and a symbol of the importance of maintaining flora and fauna.
Yes, Allah, udah.
Ada sound ke? Tak ada sound.
Sepatutnya ada sound ni.
Pelan kot.
Because I can just see Sekejap. Hmm.
Okay. The motivation to choose this place is have a tourist attraction. Tioman Island is one of the islands that attract local and foreign tourists. It is because the beauty of the beach and the clear water attracted them to go there. Tioman Island also famous with flora and fauna. It is one of the most beautiful islands. Tourists can explore the beautiful car park, and it has variety of rainbow-colored tropical fish. The surrounding area there has a beautiful view of the mountain. Um, many activities, many activities at there, such as snorkeling, scuba diving, and jungle trekking. Furthermore, the major transportation is by boat, and each village have a boat service provider that offers trips to various places of recreation on the island. For the potential to grow more, the tourism industry at Tioman Island have a potential to grow more because it is an attractive and beautiful place. The facilities available at there are taken care of to ensure it is always clean and comfortable. Not only that, the government also state the area of Tioman Island as a marine park. It is to conserve the growing number of endangered marine life from extinct. Then, in terms of education, it also have marine park department at Kampung Tekek. It is provide information to tourists about the underwater scenery for those who never snorkeling before. Um, then it is a privilege at Tioman Island to attract more tourists, especially travelers from all around the world to go there. This will generate income for the tourist industry as well as the local community. Next.
Okay, the issue in Tioman Island, there is three issues. Number one, problem of electricity supply. Local people and resort always face with the problem of electricity supply almost every day. They just obtain the electric supply for a short time, like 2 or 3 hours per day. The problem also give a trouble to owner of resort because they had to limit the weight material such as chicken, vegetable to avoid from broken, and tourists cannot use aircon and charge their phone during check-in resort. Number two, problem of water supply. Even though this place is surrounded with island, but the problem of lack of water also occur. This situation always happen during dry season because of no rainfall.
Other than that, Tioman Island don't have a right proper system, water system, and good management to get a fresh water. And lastly, rubbish everywhere. A lot of rubbish was found at the beach, such as plastic, bottle, can, and more. This situation give a trouble to water hygiene on the beach and environment. As we can see, the rubbish are not well managed and that can cause of smell pollution, and it we give a bad impression of tourists to Tioman Island. That's all for me. Thank you. I will pass to next presenter.
Okay, for the environmental problem was first is overdevelopment of flora and fauna. Overdevelopment of flora and fauna and tourism have put significant stress on Tioman fragile ecosystem. In Tioman Island have a large amount of fauna in the tropical forest. Several species of bats are native to the area, including the dog-faced fruit bat, and the bats are threatened by the light pollution caused by increased the tourism development. The coral reef of Tioman have been radiocarbon date to be over 6,000 years old. And these corals support large marine life, includes the giant clam and near saturated black-tipped reef shark, and as well as the endangered green turtle and critically endangered hawksbill turtle. The continuous coral stress place this biodiversity at substantial risk. And the solution is over the planning and development of environmental sensitive areas, which is KSAS. KSAS stand for Kawasan Sensitive Alam Sekitar. This KSAS aim to help the state government and local authorities to determine the types of land use and development activities that are allowed and not allowed in the KSAS area. So the solution was using KSAS level 1, 2 and 3. KSAS level 1 is existing protected area and new proposal. Endangered habitat outside protected area, existing dam catchment area and new proposal, as well as area over 1,000 contours. And KSAS level 2 is the area of all forests and wetland outside the protected area. The buffer zone 500 meter in around KSAS level 1 and the area buffer zone around KSAS level 2. Water intake point between the contract of 300 meter to 1,000 meter. And the last one is KSAS level 3. The area is 500 meter buffer zone around KSAS level 2. And water intake point catchment area and zone ground water recharge 150 meters to 300 counter area and marine park island and coastal area. And the second problem is sewage problem. So, to prevent this problem using the solution of biotechnology sewage treatment system. Biotechnology sewage system for the chalet and commercial area. Sewage treatment system are ideal for single or multiple houses and employ the well-proven aerobic biological trickling filter process for the treatment of sewage. This biotechnology sewage treatment was created in the Kampung Tekek, Kampung Juara, Kampung Air Batang, Kampung Salang, Kampung Paya, Kampung Genting, and Kampung Mukot and Kampung Asa. This biotech sewage treatment system was right in the RKK for 2030 in Pahang. And the second problem is the deterioration of coral reef. And the solution is coral reef cultivation. For example, one of the largest event in 2017 of coral reef replanting has set a new record. This event has been successfully recorded in the Malaysian Books of Record. As many as 4,000 coral reef have been replanted in the water of Pulau Tioman Island. This program is also expected to success in planting as many as 3,000 coral reef within 5 years. Next, I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Next presenter dah cukup dah 15 minit. Next presenter tak payah present. Alright, tak apa. Thank you. Alright. Dah terlebih lah time. Okay. Since you said that island is a very sensitive area compared to other cities that presented today. So what do you suggest to solve sewage problem, for example, that is easy for resident to understand? So I know that tadi Intan dah bagi tahu kan apa solution dia, but that's from the government. But then the resident doesn't understand what is the importance for them to participate in also protecting environmental situation of human. So as someone who in tourism development, so what do you suggest to solve sewage problem that is easy for resident to understand? Okay, that's my question. Right. Okay, Pulau Tioman, thank you very much. Right. So you can vote for your favorite city today. So we have 5 cities. Banting, Tumpat, Bukit Mertajam, Muar, Pulau Tioman. Right. Okay. So back to Banting. So what's your risk assessment and also solution for having more premium outlets in Banting?
Miss, saya boleh jawab sebenarnya, Miss?
Boleh.
Antara risiko dia adalah pelibatan ataupun penyertaan daripada masyarakat setempat sendiri, sama ada diorang nak terlibat untuk invest ataupun tidak. Sebab mungkin ada setengah komuniti yang rasakan Banting ni hanya sesuai untuk pembangunan industri ataupun pelancongan semula jadi semata-mata. Jadi suggestion saya adalah developer perlu menekankan terhadap komuniti seperti menyatakan maklumat tentang kelebihan daripada pembangunan tersebut. Contohnya untuk peluang pekerjaan, ataupun diorang tak perlu nak pergi keluar daripada Banting semata-mata untuk tengok wayang ataupun pergi ke butik yang berjenama. Itu daripada saya. Nantia?
The second risk is traffic congestion. I said earlier the traffic congestion is one of the issue faced in Banting. So if they build the mall in the center of the city, the traffic will get worse. So I suggest them to build the mall in rural area. It's not like rural, but like Kampung Darat or Morib, since it's known for the small and medium enterprises. So if they build the mall there, it will reduce the traffic congestion, and also it will help to develop the place, and will help small and medium entrepreneurs to increase their income. And that's all, madam. Please.
All right. Thank you. Banting. All right. Thank you. So you suggest to go for a rural area rather than a center of Banting?
Yes, miss.
All right. Okay. So Tumpat. So ni tadi apa soalan dia? Oh, okay. So how do you think more people will move and live in Tumpat or Kelantan. Despite they have strict Islamic value regulation.
Okay.
So what's your suggestion?
In my opinion lah, saya rasa Islamic factor ni will not be a factor that cause people to lose interest to stay in Kelantan. Firstly, we obviously know that Malaysia itself is Islamic country. So, but I do believe the outsiders who hasn't been to Kelantan will have the prejudice that Kelantan is a place where the Islamic value is really strict and the state is undeveloped and such. But we need to know that Kelantan is still in a state which is still in a developing stage. So we can see many new projects take place in Kelantan right now. So, and also I do believe Kelantan will well develop states in the future. For example, let's take example of Dubai, which is located in UAE. For those who doesn't know, Dubai is a country that implied hudud regulation, which is much more stricter than what we have here. But for the statistic, according to the statistic, the population of Dubai is 9.2 million, but the total of immigrant is 7.8 million. Why people still want to migrate there, even though they have stricter Islamic value, because they know the place is safe to live and they can have better life there. That is my answer.
All right, thank you, Saif. Okay. Bukit Mentajam. So how can you make Bukit Mentajam a more livable city?
Okay. So the first one is we try to separate the road for lorry and other vehicles. So, or we can reschedule the movement of lorry in Bukit Mentajam so that the area will be less dangerous for other people to use. Second one is we can manage the quarry activity by law enforcement because we cannot totally close we cannot totally close or slow down the quarry activity because it is Bukit Bertajam's economic resources. So we can just we need better management in order to avoid the activity from disturbing the local people. And the third one is, according to Bulletin Mutiara in 2019, they plan to make Bukit Mertajam as a digital city. So digital city is a concept where it integrate the information and communication technology, ICT, with various smart devices to collect and monitor the city environment, operation and also services. That's all from me.
All right, thank you, Bukit Mentajam. I think it's a good suggestion to have more better traffic control in Bukit Mentajam.
Okay.
All right. Mua. So how can you improve the residents' well-being? Despite being a very busy, not really busy city, but a potential city to be in the sustainable or happy city to live in.
Okay, first is encourage social activities. Okay, resident can seek out peer support and make friends and develop new interests. Second is work-life balance. So they need to learn how to strike work-life balance, such as manage their times, make work space, and prioritize their time. That's all.
Nak prioritize time.
Yes.
Do you suggest to prioritize the time for that? Is it the residents?
Yes, for the residents.
All right. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Miss.
Thank you. Thank you, Mua. All right. Come on. So are you ready? What's your suggestion to solve, to make it easier for resident to understand how to solve environmental problems?
Hmm, Jalan VM boleh ni saya?
Boleh.
Okey, untuk tu sifat murni menjaga persekitaran alam sekitar sangat penting kepada manusia. Ianya perlu ditanam dan didik daripada awal lagi. Kiranya education sangat penting. Kiranya sifat murni ini perlu ditanam contohnya dalam pendidikan dalam sekolah itu tentang menjaga alam persekitaran mereka. Kerana kegagalan rawatan yang cekap dan berkesan ini boleh menyebabkan air luahan tidak terawat menyerap masuk ke dalam persekitaran mereka lah. Lepas tu, tidak kurang penting juga ialah kesedaran pengguna untuk melunaskan bil pembentukan IWK untuk caj pengurusan sistem kumbahan. Ia perlu juga mencerminkan keperluan operasi semasa dan untuk orang ramai supaya sentiasa memberi kesediaan dan penyedaran kepada orang awam, orang masyarakat di tempat itu sendiri.
Dah. Habis dah YB?
Dah.
Alright. Okay. So educational programs. So you suggest to have more educational programs. Alright.
Yes.
Alright. Thank you. So thank you to the 5 cities that presented today: Banting, Tumpai, Bukit Mertajam, Muar, and Pulau Tioman. So I just sum up. For I think I like Bukit Mertajam. They have more statistics, especially on safety and crime rates statistics. That's make it the quality of life punya presentation more kita panggil attractive. Sama macam Muar, they have a lot of elements in their PowerPoint which well presented elements of quality of life, shopping, educational punya tempat kan. So they have that. Okay. So I think what others can improve for next session next week, if you have a YouTube video, make sure you have the desktop version. Okay, dapatkan desktop version sebab YouTube lagging. I think both of the video they played today is from YouTube punya video. Okay, so gunakan desktop version punya video lah. Okay, and then focus more elements on quality of life. Macam Muar, hari ni Muar punya quality of life punya elements memang nampak clear. So kalau you ada recommendation, macam Bukit Mertajam kan, tadi kan Kuari contohnya. So if you have recommendation, make sure dalam introduction you mesti kena ada juga benda tu. Kalau tak, kami yang tak duduk di situ tak tahu apa elemen dia. So make sure you have that too. Okay. And then focus more into how residents punya apa tu kita panggil macam mana residents day to day operation, focus on that. Kurangkan on tourism, bukan kata saya tak nak tengok tourism punya elements, tapi kita nak fokus on well-being kan. Bila kita fokus on quality of life, kita fokus banyak kepada residents, because tujuan seminar is that how do you can make the city is more attractive for people to live in. Okay, so itu dia punya fokus seminar ni. Okay. So kurangkan elemen tourism, more elements on your jalan raya, infrastructure. Contohnya macam tadi Tioman kata setiap pulau ada apa kita panggil tadi, perkhidmatan bot ke pulau-pulau lain kan. Macam tu elemen dia. Tu contohlah infrastructure. Tak semestinya jalan raya, macam Muar kan ditunjukkan jalan raya apa semua kan. Tak semestinya macam tu. So depends on what type of city yang you propose lah, sebab you yang pilih kan. So it depends on that. Right? Okay, so that's everything for today. Okay, so vote for your favorite cities. Nanti saya post ataupun somebody can help to post in WhatsApp. Right? So thank you. Right? So nanti saya jumpa 11 o'clock. Ada tiga group. So I just need that group sahaja. Right, I see you next week. So siapa nak makan mi Bandung tu diorang dah offer dah. Boleh pergi nanti. Boleh bila boleh merentas negeri. Boleh pergi makan mi Bandung. Tour guide ada kat situ. Local tour guide yang ada. Alright. Thank you very much today everyone. Alright. See you next week.
Thank you, Miss.
Alright. Thank you.
Thank you,
Alright.
Miss.
Thank you, Miss.
Alright. Okay. Okay. Thank you YB.
Miss, elok-elok nanti jatuh kat laut belakang tu. Thank you, Miss.
Sebab Pulau Tioman,
Kelakar lah grup
sebab
kami.
Pulau Tioman present. Jadi saya pun kena ada pulau kat belakang kan.
Oh, Miss datang ke Pulau Tiaman dah. Mesti Miss ikut pintu habis tadi.
Sebab tengok dia orang tunjuk pulau. Okay, saya pun ada juga pulau. Renovate 3 saat kan.
Seronok masak.
Thank you, Miss.
Alright, welcome. I see you
Thank you,
next
Miss.
week. Alright, take care. Stay safe.
Okay, Miss. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Oh, jap. Okay. Alright. Alright. Welcome. Bye-bye.